let's move on to Microsoft. Did anybody watch the Halo Infinite campaign trailer?
I did.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
like more Halo. It's open world now.
It's funny, like
you know what?
It doesn't look like awesome. Like Far Cry looks beautiful when you look at it. I don't think you look at that and say, well, that looks beautiful.
I think though the mechanically
what was the setting of it though? Because
there's rocks. I believe there were rocks.
Okay.
Aliens,
and you shoot
lasers.
Was it a jungle level or where?
Yes, everything.
Yeah,
many levels.
Everything.
It showed a lot of different parts. I feel it wasn't just like a slice.
Some of Halo is the art design, right? Like that doesn't really pop because it's very angular to begin with.
Correct.
So you can't
minimalist.
Right. And that's built around the gameplay as well.
Maybe brutalist even. Yeah, I agree, but it's missing some of the visual trickery, like the effects, I feel. Like even didn't they say that some shit's not even coming at launch, or was it God rays or something? Ray tracing. It looks good. I mean, look, it looks very sharp and it's good, and I'm going to play it and enjoy it, but mostly I'm there for the multiplayer because I don't understand the story.
I saw Craig has a beard now.
I don't even know who Craig is. Who's Craig?
He's the gorilla-looking brute guy that everybody made fun of the first time they revealed this game.
Is his name really Craig? No.
I don't know if that's what the internet calls him.
That's the internet calls him. It was when they did the first one and they showed him and he looked terrible. And
the first when they showed Halo Infinite for the first time?
The first time.
Oh, okay.
Which wasn't even that long ago, I don't think either. But
about a year ago or something, right?
Yeah, it was before they announced the delay, I guess. Right?
Yeah. And they're like, look how great our Halo game looks. And everyone's like, is that like Halo 1? Is that from like the Xbox? Because that's a good looking Xbox game. Old Xbox. But yeah. I mean, obviously I'm gonna play it. So
I'm excited.
Whatever.
I'm very excited. It's gonna be great. I
be
gotta finish Far Cry. When does that come out? November? What?
You have plenty of time.
Do I? How do you know?
Because I know.
Halo Infinite release date. December 8th. What?
You got time.
You were right. I thought you were wrong.
Nope.
Is anything coming out in November? Is Forza coming out in November?
I think
sounds reasonable. Yeah.
All right.
But that's like a game you can play. You can intersperse that with Far Cry. It's not a.
No, it won't fuck up my aiming.
It pairs well with Far Cry.
Because
Because it's another game that you will have.
It's another game, exactly.
November 5th is Forza. Yeah, I got those confused.
Is the title of the show going to be "It Pairs Well with Far Cry"?
No.
You know what pairs well with Guardians of the Galaxy is Metroid Dread.
Is that another game you have?
Yeah, it's another game. I'm still playing it. I'm closing in on the end of Metroid Dread, I believe.
Oh wow! I heard it's hard. Not for you, but like for an average gamer.
I would say you die a lot, but I haven't found anything that's like really frustrating. It's more of I got to learn the patterns to this, right?
Sure.
The only ones that are frustrating at all would be the intentionally frustrating parts of where you go into the zones where the robots, like you walk into rooms and there's specific rooms where these killer robots are like Resident Evil Nemesis type of thing where it's chasing you.
Okay. You're not supposed to be there yet?
No, you're supposed to be there, but you have to get in those zones and out of those zones without getting caught by the robot, right?
They don't want you hanging around too long.
It's a whole mechanic, right? It adds a suspense mechanic to it because you can use your cloaking ability to where you can get by them and kind of like hang on the ceiling and wait for them to go by, type of thing. But if they catch you, you can sometimes counter out of it. It's very tough to counter out of it, and it's just instant kills. And so those rooms can sometimes, at least the way I play them, is like, well, I'm going to just try running through this room again and see if I get through it, to find the exit. But beyond that, like it's shooting things with missiles. It's the typical Metroid solution to everything, right? It really got me thinking about Metroid, like how many people in the Metroid universe have just gotten killed by like they were getting ready to go through a door and then somebody shooting a missile to open the door on the other side. Just
who designed these doors? It seems like a very weird type of lock and key mechanisms.
Right.
Missiles. Weird. Obviously, like the Metroid world is dominated by the door industry because only, the door industry would say, hey, the only way to open these doors is by destroying them. You have to buy a whole new door every time you want to open and close a door. Be great for business, but so they're obviously in charge.
It's a solid Metroid game, I think.
Good.
I'm enjoying it. I play it for, I don't know, about an hour every day. So making my way through it.
Nice. Excellent. Wombat, have you been playing Resident Evil 4 in VR on Oculus Quest 2?
I played about 45 minutes, I think.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
I heard they did a nice job with it.
Yeah. The long story short, we talked about it on the show last week. I said it was going to be too expensive, and somehow they heard me. And as soon as we finished, they had sent me a coupon code for 30% off my next purchase on the Oculus, which I used to get Resident Evil 4 because I figured I would talk about it on this program. Right. And here we are.
See, system works, except for the part where they heard you talk about it.
Exactly. So I did buy the game. It is Resident Evil 4. If you've ever played that game, you are familiar with the basics of what you're getting into. But it is in VR. I am not doing the moving. I'm doing the teleporting. You just flick the left stick to a point in space, and that's where you go.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing where you hold the stick down and move.
Too dizzying?
It's a little dizzying, but I do like the quality of life options because there's a ton of them as far as movement, even hand dominance. So I can set it to being left-handed because I am left-handed.
Nice.
Yeah. So you reach down with your left hand and you pull your pistol from your hip.
Yes, talk dirty.
And then you grab the ammo with your other hand and you put it in the gun and you go.
I heard like that stuff was done really well. All like the combat and like if you want to throw a grenade, you have to take it off your chest.
Yep. Same thing. You have a grenade on one side and health on the other. And your shotgun or whatever your two-handed weapon is over your shoulder.
See, and now I read that somebody complained that they wind up punching themselves in the breasts because they're trying to grab the grenade and they don't quite, know where, they're in VR, so they don't quite know where their body begins and ends.
It's not always perfect.
I thought it was that, the setting on it didn't account for boobs.
No. It doesn't know where your chest is. It only knows where your head is.
It knows your head and your hands.
But if your hands are in relation to your head and you can't get your hand close enough to where your head is at because there's a boob in the way.
Yeah, it could be a problem.
Right. It doesn't account for that. There's no tracking. Right. There's no body tracking.
You don't have to do the grabby way of getting your weapons. You can do like hold the thumbstick in and it brings up the weapon wheel, but that's not
fun. Punch them titties.
Why aren't you just playing normal Resident Evil 4?
Exactly. Then you might as well just be playing.
Might as well play checkers.
Yeah. Does it look cool? Of course it looks cool. It's
your
probably
tits sore?
The biggest game. Are my tits sore? Will I play more of it? Sure.
How's the merchant?
I haven't gotten up to the merchant yet. I'm not that far. I'm probably like right there though.
He's gonna be all up in your area with what are you buying?
Gonna be like inside of his coat.
He'll be like, what are you staring at?
Right, you're just gonna stick your head directly into his coat to see what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
How about some left-hand dominance, sailor?
What are you touching? Stop touching.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure they're making a lot of money with that game. That was a good call. Cool. That was a good idea for them to do that.
It's like,
I think companies are starting to make money with VR games now.
I'm trying to think I guess it's probably the best one to do for that because it has so much combat in it. But I'm wondering if Resident Evil 1 would have worked well in VR also. Because it's the centralized location of the house. Like, and the way that the movement was so stilted, it might actually work in VR.
Nick Pedrio writes in and he wants Wombat's thoughts on Supernatural's adding boxing workouts. He wants to know if you've tried it yet. And wants to know if you're still enjoying Supernatural in general. He said he's been slacking a bit, but boxing may reel him back in.
I've definitely been slacking a bit. I definitely still like it. I know. I'm terrible. It's been a weird last couple of weeks. I have not tried the boxing yet, which only came out yesterday. So.
Okay. Well, we'll excuse it. Maybe for next week, though. Let's see what else we got here. Let's move on to the CAG bag. It's getting late. Kuribanju writes in. He says, I found a used GPD costume on eBay. Should I buy it? And also, what are you guys wearing for Halloween?
What is a used GPD costume?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was something.
It's your mom's old douchebag, but that's in
Well, we
Ohio.
had the Boy Scout trunk or treat on Friday, and I wore my costume already once.
That's how I learned what trunk or treat was.
Yes, I dressed up like a giant banana. I posted pictures online.
Were you supposed to be Peely? Is that who you are?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a Fortnite themed trunk.
It was a Fortnite themed trunk. My wife was Blue Team Leader, was her skin, and my son was 8-Ball, and Sabrina was
the drug.
Yeah,
it's very inappropriate.
Drug. And my daughter was, I believe, her costume was
heroin.
I'm having none of this. I'm sitting in the back seat.
I'll be at home watching TV.
Yeah. So
nice.
there you go. Mm-hmm.
Shipwreck. Your costume, or do you not want to reveal it yet?
No, I can say it. I'm not going to put it on right now.
Right.
I'm going as Coach Beard from Ted Lasso.
Didn't we come up with that on the show? That idea?
Yes, that was my idea.
Well, sure.
My
Shipwreck thought of it first. You just didn't. Have you ever been Shipwreck for Halloween?
No, I've never dressed up as Shipwreck.
Well, that's
I don't think so.
Because you could do that. That's a very viable option for you.
I think most people would just assume he's dressed up as a sailor. Which I guess
not if you had the bird. If you had the bird and a gun. What was his gun?
The grappling gun.
He had a shotgun. He had
a grappling.
He had a grapple hook as well. Yeah, that wasn't his gun though.
I think if you have the shotgun, I think that would be good for next year.
Nobody could ever figure out exactly what that thing was that Shipwreck had. That was the grappling hook thing. It was something on a string.
Mm-hmm.
That
an
he put on his little hook on his pants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it right now. Oh, let me see. Does it tell me what it is?
Oh,
oh my God, we're beard. Look at that gray beard. Oh my God, that's a lot of gray. It's too close.
Ew.
Oh.
What is that?
There's a long gray hairs.
Precision pistol and what was it?
Don't look again. No.
Oh.
Boarding hooks. Boarding hooks.
Oh my God. Boarding. Oh, right. That makes sense. So when he's boarding ship, he's yeah. I played Assassin's Creed. I remember those boarding hooks.
There you go.
What else we got in the CAG bad? Clicksby writes in. He says, off air, do you call each other by your real names?
No.
But some trivia that I learned by watching the pre-show and the classic clips. In the first episode of the show, I refer to you as Stuart.
That is my birth name.
I do not refer to you as Wombat. I refer to you as Stuart.
A handful of people do refer to me as Stuart.
So we grew into that. That is the trivia. I don't know what episode I stopped calling you Stuart.
You can call me that. I would be upset.
I do not want it. I don't want that.
You can if you want. Everyone else can too.
Shanafan writes in.
It's what my mom calls me.
Wombat avoids games without a pause button, but Fortnite doesn't have a pause button. Care to explain?
Oh my goodness. What a gotcha question.
This is the power of randomization and loot in games. You can overcome his hate for pause buttons.
It has more to do with the fact that I could leave a Fortnite game in the middle.
Can you?
And not lose anything. Like even if I had completed a challenge in Fortnite 2 minutes in and you leave the game, you still get the credit for the completed challenge.
What about your dignity?
I lost that like 20 years ago.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So if something really happened, like child needs me, I just leave the game I'm in. That in a game of Fortnite usually doesn't last more than 20 minutes. It's only annoying in games where I think the good example is Outriders, which doesn't have a pause button. And a round of that game is like an hour. And I don't have time. So,
what you're saying is basically that rounds of Fortnite are basically disposable.
Yes. So pause isn't 100% necessary.
Right. You can just throw the whole thing right in the garbage.
And then just go right back. And basically, if I start a new game again, it's right where I left off.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. And that's why I can get away with it. I think probably Apex it would be the same, with similar.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but Apex is more serious, though. I feel like I'm letting down my teammates if I just quit out.
Yeah, because you're playing with others,
right? And it's more. I feel like there's more at stake.
As opposed to if I was playing Fortnite solos.
We're not shooting bots.
Who cares? Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Anyway, so that was a great answer, and now you can tell Shanafan to
stick it where the sun don't shine.
Exactly. Thank you.